This thing is a shocker. It's lighter, it's louder, it's rear-wheel drive, gas only, a bruiser from a company that has been adding weight, all-wheel drive, and leading into electrification. So, Hannah, you were there last night. What did Bentley just unleash?
This is a big tease about what we can expect to see more from Bentley, I think. Of course, it's been about a year since Frank Walliser, the CEO, joined the company. As you know, Frank came from Porsche Motorsport, where he was the mastermind behind a lot of race wins. This is the first car that really has Frank's thumbprint on it. It's a big indicator that Bentley is doubling down. It's going to get a lot more boy racer. I think. I'm
excited. As a boy racer myself, I'm very excited about that. The man behind the madness is with him. Frank-Steffen Walliser is Bentley's relatively new CEO. He's been on the job a little over a year after a storied run at Porsche, where he didn't just win races, but he developed the 918 Spider supercar, which is one that we were looking at in the editorial meeting yesterday and all in awe of. He joins us on set. Hannah dragged you in here after the debut, so thanks so much for joining us. What is happening? Are you bringing Bentley back to its driver car roots?
Yeah, definitely. I think that describes it pretty well. Bentley is and was always the driver's brand. And I'm joking a little bit because our club of fans is called Bentley's Drivers Club. So, yeah, to underline this, and needs the right product for it, and we feel it's really beneficial for our brand if you can drive it, and the thrill of driving is a core of our brand and of our DNA. And it was for many, many years, and we said, yeah, let's make the products that even underline it more. And we had some fun by putting this car together and developing it and bringing it to life.
I remember when Hannah last year at some point did a story where she went out driving with you in the Continental GT Speed, right? And I remember saying, like, everybody is watching Frank now, and they're going to wait for the first car that he develops because of your track record at Porsche, right? Is this the first vehicle that has your imprint on it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the story started honestly at day 2 when I joined Bentley, and we had what we call the product roundtable. That is I would say, of official meetings, gathering of engineers, sales, marketing, design, finance, and we talk new ideas in an open space. Normally in the evening, takes sometimes hours, and it's very open. And this was the second day, and I joined it, and there was the idea around what can we do on Continental, and I said, yeah, let's go for it, but make it, please, as extreme as possible. And I brought a little bit of my experience in, but the interesting thing for me was in Bentley, it was always there. I just really had to ignite it. And then people immediately know what to do and what to go for. And they really went above and beyond, timing-wise, content-wise, what's possible, engineering capabilities, really great through the whole company. So it really defined not only a new car, but also a new spirit in the company.
Frank, I know we've made so much about this as a V8, and especially that this is a non-hybrid vehicle, but I also know you guys have some electric vehicles in the pipeline as well. So what's the balance at Bentley going to look like between EVs and then internal combustion in the future?
Well, looking at regulation, looking at how the market splits up, I think it's even more important than it was in the past to offer a balanced portfolio. So I'm very proud, and one of our next announcements will be the next Bentley. So we add another car, what is in general great news, and yes, it will be electric. And so customers of Bentley have the choice between plug-in hybrids, pure ICE engines, and an electric car. And also the electric car will be a driver's car, beautiful designed, tech-wise on the next generation. So a big choice for our customers, and I'm sure it will bring customers to the Bentley brand that would have never considered us.
You know, I'm really curious about that as we move deeper into tech. How does Bentley still define luxury in this space where we're going racing, seems like, and we're doing tech? Where does luxury fit into that?
I think luxury comes with many aspects. One is definitely the engineering, the craftsmanship behind it, what we can offer, and this is maybe also a sweet spot for supersports, because it offers you really the thrill of driving, and I had the chance to drive the car on racetracks in Spain. It's really a difference if you drive that car. But it comes with all the craftsmanship, with the leather, with the quality, with the Bentley, with the reliability of a Bentley. And that's a sweet spot in the market. And tech gets more and more important, but it has not to be mixed up with that. And we see some, especially Chinese, but also US tech players, but they are tech offers. They are not luxury brand. And I think that's a difference. It's sometimes mixed up. And we have a very clear position on the luxury side, sporty interpretation of the luxury side, but we will not chase down our colleagues from Porsche or Lamborghini for lap times. We're in a different league.
Frankie,
grown up.
I love that. So you've also had to relocate to England, where the bulk of the Bentleys are being assembled. There were comments from the Ford CEO saying that he had thousands of mechanic job opens that they couldn't fill. Obviously, a very different offering for the people who are going to be working on a Bentley versus a Ford in a different region, America versus England. But how difficult is it in this very moment where the UK is facing some of those pressures, too, of getting the skilled labor that you need to assemble these cars?
We are in a very good position. We are recognized as one of the top employers in the UK. We are still very attractive. I think the offer, the packages we have for our employees, for our workforce, is really attractive. We have a lot of people that working there second and third generation. So it's very clear for family members, they work in Bentley. And so a high loyalty of our workforce, and I think this brings us in a good position. For sure, we're also part of to get the best talents then on the tech side, engineering side in the country. But at the moment, I would say it's not really a problem. We're well positioned and works pretty well.
What about the rare earths and the microchips? Ever since the supply chain debacle of the COVID crisis and now the trade war with China, I was asking Mark Royce of General Motors, obviously a very different car maker, but
same semiconductors.
Well, exactly. So he was saying what they really try and do, among other things, is engineer some of that stuff out so that they aren't reliant on it. Is it the same at Bentley, at Porsche, in the Volkswagen Group?
It's considered to be in the Volkswagen Group. Partly you can engineer it out, rare earth, but not everything comes with an advantage, so you have to balance it. On the semiconductor side, for sure, Volkswagen has a big network, and after the post-COVID semiconductor crisis, a lot of processes within the Volkswagen Group have been set up to respond to such a situation. And this is what now happened. And in comparison to the last chip supply shortage, and now it was politically because someone said no, and then it stops immediately. It was not a factory or a shortage of any pre-material. But the processes that have been set up brought us in a position to, within hours, we knew which cars, which factory, which parts. And then you could immediately respond. It was less complex semiconductors, so you could work around. And so far, we managed everything, so we have no shortage, we have no impact on manufacturing. And it looks like it's sorted now, with supply is coming back again. So it just showed also how resilient Volkswagen in total was. And for sure, in the Volkswagen Group, there's a high likability that if there is a semiconductor available, Bentley will get it, just on the contribution of our cars.
Of course, of course. I wonder about the effect of tariffs, because I've noticed kind of a split among luxury car makers when I talk to Benedetto Vigna. Okay, it doesn't matter so much to Ferrari buyers. The same is true when we talk with Stephen Winkleman at Lamborghini, although they are going to have to raise prices and it's maybe a little more sensitive. Meanwhile, at Aston Martin, it's a real problem, right? Maybe because their prices are too high to begin with. But what is it like for Bentley buyers, and how are you dealing with passing those prices on?
It's, well, we looked, and you react on your pricing side every model year, what we did with the 26 model year. And I think we can deal it at the moment. But I would consider, in general, the market conditions have the bigger impact than the tariff impact. UK and US have a very, very good tariff agreement, so there's no complaints. It's the best in the world To
10%.
be clear, it's 7.5 more, so it's 10 in total. It used to be 2.5, so it's 7.5 more. Definitely something we can handle. We don't see really an impact on it, but the market is not as as good as it used to be. I think it needs a little bit more stability again in the US and a little bit better outlook. You just talked on the development of the stock market. That does not help. But
will rate cuts help? Do rate cuts matter to Bentley?
Yeah, we will see. At the moment, it's a lot about the sentiment.